What up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in. Raptalk Motivation. I ain't know my shorts was gonna be showing. Hold on, y'all. Got to see all that. I got to see my. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. I got a lot of skin showing. Maybe I need to clean this up a little bit, but I don't care. I ain't tripping because I'm going to the gym after this anyway. But this look a little too much though. This look like I'm doing a little too much. A little too much skin showing. But anyway, welcome. Appreciate you for tuning in. All the people that's gonna check it out on the replay. Maybe this might give me some views. I don't know. Maybe I should get up and dance. Do the Diddy. I ain't gonna say do the Diddy. There's a lot going on with Diddy too. We're gonna talk about a little bit of that. Let me scoot this up a little bit like this because I'm doing a little too much. There we go. Now that's too much ceiling. We'll figure it out. But anyway, it's a lot going on in the news. And I even got my laptop right here near me, so just in case if it's a couple of things or stories we want to look up, talk about. And one of the things I do want to talk about is how a lot of us have been curious and wondering why this whole Diddy trial is not being streamed on any site. If y'all noticed that. And I know a lot of people been curious about it. I know I was curious about it. I was wondering like, damn, why the Diddy stream is not, why it's not being live streamed, This is one of the biggest cases, damn, this since like OJ. Even though it's messy and all that, but it's still a real big story. I mean, let's just face it. It's like, wow, they ain't even. I mean, we got to just rely on everybody who just go outside and report. And there's a lot of different news reporters who have been, it seemed like trustworthy in the whole situation. So it's looking like people got their resources of who they want to tune in and hear the stories from. And when it comes to the Diddy case, but I came across this article though, and I'm gonna read it, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit because a lot of people have been wondering, like, damn, why the trial ain't being live streamed? This is one of the biggest cases. So here's your answer here, and this according to Hot News Hip Hop and a couple other sites. What up in the chat? What up, Dawson? A couple other people. Tell me where y'all checking in from too. Okay, so here's the information that's coming out. The Sean Diddy Combs trafficking case is the biggest trial of 2025, which it is. While the case is covered by every news outlet worldwide, social media has questioned why the trial is not being live streamed. So, fans have been receiving daily information from reliable sources such as Inner City Press, Complexes, Shine, Sataro, and more. So here's your answer. The trial is not being live streamed because it is a federal case. Let me say that again. The Diddy trial is not being live streamed on TV and all that stuff, etc., because it is a federal case. Diddy faces racketeering and trafficking charges. So if the feds get their way, he's looking at 15 years behind bars. 15 years. The conviction will bring the Mo's legacy down. So Federal Rule 53 forbids the use of audio, video recording devices. So this is a federal rule. By being a Fed case, there's something on hand. It's called a Federal Rule 53 that forbids the use of audio and video recording devices. Reporters in the gallery are the only eyes and ears. And that's why we've been seeing a lot of those different pictures and sketches. You know how you look up on screen and then you see like the different pictures, like they draw the cartoon things like that. And so it's been a lot of people standing in line and stuff like that because they have to wait to see if they can get in. It's been said that they honestly, it's my honestly, they actually been paying people to stand in line so certain reporters can get in because you have to sit out there overnight and things like that. So social media has grown reliable on the daily course transcripts tweeted by inner city press. So I guess inner city press is all over this case. So they name keep coming up. So they obviously is a reliable source for the up to dates of what's going on with the case. News outlets have continuously reported new developments in the trial, resorting to information provided on the report's social media account. So it's like we all on the outside looking in on this case. And of course, he pled not guilty in his arraignment. The mogul has been denied bond twice. He's hired Young Thug attorney Brian Steele in March. And most of them already know how Young Thug got off kind of sweet. I ain't gonna say he got off, but he took a smack on the wrist and got some probation. So Brian Steele is obviously a real good lawyer, and Diddy got him on hand. But that's your answer for that. Why the trial ain't being seen on all these different outlets and stuff like that. Free Diddy and R. Kelly. What's up, Mr. W? I'm gonna call you Mr. W. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name. Shout out to everybody in the chat who tapping in and tuning in. So there's your answer for that. Cause I know most men wondering like what's going on? Like why is Diddy trial not live streamed and stuff like that? And it's a real big trial, and we hearing so much more coming out. We even got the streets buzzing saying if Casey should be included or locked up, or if she should receive some type of more than just backlash because she supposedly, it sounded like she was very coherent and a lot of assistance in some of the things that was probably going on. So we got a question: would George Floyd be on the stand? He was a fool. Whoever this text manager, we gonna just get him up out of here. He just said something stupid talking about would George Floyd be on the stand. First we gonna remove your message, and we gonna knock you out this chat for a minute. You talking about a George Floyd gonna be on the stand for Diddy. Man, if you don't cut it out, it's a lot of fools out here on Instagram. It's a lot of people that's really sit around and think of how they can just troll and have fun. But we don't mind a little bit of the troll. At least if you're gonna troll, be funny. I will say that much. If you're gonna come up here and troll, be funny. Let's see what else is going on in hip hop news and stuff like that. There'll be a lot of different stories. It'd be too many stories to keep up, but of course we know right now the biggest thing that's standing up is, that don't sound right. The biggest thing that's standing up is this whole Diddy trial. All right, we got some Kanye news. Y'all want some Kanye news? We can check this out real quick and see what they talking about. An entire Kanye West album just leaked. Ooh, a Kanye West album has been leaked. Now is this some new music? I gotta just admit, I don't listen to Kanye like I used to. I really don't. I'm really not even interested. It's like I don't even, when I hear a Kanye album that's coming out, I don't even just think to myself like I'm about to go scan it or nothing no more. I checked out, what was that, Donda? That was the last one. I listened to a song or two on that. I just could not get into it. It just went, It just wasn't clicking. But let's just read this story. Obviously, some type of Kanye album was leaked. I mean, with all the stunts with Kanye and all that, and the music, it just don't hit. It's like it's. This might sound crazy to say, but it's like it's too many sounds in it. It's like he's trying to be extra and different, but it's like it ain't even clicking on the cylinders to where it's just sound cohesive. It's like the Kanye music of now. It just sound like a whole bunch of distortion, and it's like it it just ain't hitting. And I really can't get into it though. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Is y'all checking for Kanye right now? I'm talking about this music. Okay, but let's read this though. This according to Hot News Hip Hop. It's an album just got leaked. Now, when did he do this? I don't know. I don't know if Kanye did this. But Kanye West has released unfinished albums since 2016. Life of Pablo, Down the Tube was released on a custom-made streaming player. Social media was in a frenzy on Sunday evening, May 18th, which was yesterday, as Ye's entire album leaked on Discord. The album hit social media shortly after, with fans spreading it like wildfire. Ye has been working on new music since late 2024. I thought he just dropped the album though, so maybe this is different from the Down the Two. So the leak included the entire WW3 album. Ye's leak included interesting titles like Diddy Free, oh wow, Dirty Magazines, and Free My Kids. The titles relate to the mogul's late controversy. The mogul has prior incidents that include talking to the Diddy while locked up, admitting to things with his cousins, and addiction to PORN. So it's an album out there. I don't know if it's still out there, but according to Hot News Hip Hop and a couple different outlets, it's a leaked album that Diddy done just put out. Where these resources come from? So it's saying that it may include a conversation that he had with Diddy while being locked up. Maybe he inserted that on the album because it said the leak include the entire WW3 album. I wasn't too much aware with the WW3 album. And like I said again, the Down the Two album, I peeked in and tried to listen to it, but I really can't get into the latest of Kanye. And I ain't trying to be one of them artists who just try to be stuck in the past or act like, okay, you gotta talk about this. It gotta be boom bap. I'm not one of those listeners. Now I grow with an artist and I try to understand the growth the same way I did with people like Outkast and stuff like that. I mean, sonically the music do change and it switch up, so I get it. But as far as just Kanye, it's like it's just not meshing. It's not flowing. It's like super pop, and of course all the antics on the side don't make it no better. That don't make it flow also. So that's not really a good look for it. But sonically, when I listen to it, it just sounds so distorted, and it sound kind of borderline like some rock if you think about it. It's not hardcore rock and roll. And then when he gets slow on his songs and try to be real melodic, it just come across kind of boring. Like it's kind of so predicted. And then sometimes it just seems. I know when I listen. Now you can have your own opinion. This just me talking. But sometimes when I listen to the songs, they don't sound in sync enough to where it's like I can really just catch a mood when I listen to it. You know, you that's a real big thing a lot of people don't really pay attention to. You gotta have your songs in sync when you making music or know what you going after when you create an album. Think to yourself like, okay, I'm putting this album out and It's like this the point I'm trying to get across. Like I want the album to flow in an order to set a mood. You gotta have a mood with your shit. You gotta be on to something, you know? That's why people like Larry June and stuff like that, or Ellie Dollar, or certain artists, because you can ride to them. You know when you get into some ride of music. You know when you get into that jet life. You know when you listen to Spitter, Currency. You know what I'm saying? That's why Wiz Khalifa was so big. People got high to his music. Just like you know what you're getting into when you get certain people. But certain people, I ain't gonna say when you get too big, but certain people, it's like, what the fuck am I listening to? You just playing some shit and you don't even know when you're gonna listen to it next time. And that's another thing too. Kanye, he's so big of an artist. He try to make that arena music. So you know he do think beyond just the cars and the traveling like that. And plus he traveled the world a lot. So he trying to tap into too many artists. So and that can fuck you up also. When you try to tap into too many people, you're gonna lose yourself because you're trying to please too many different people. As an artist, you gotta lock in on who you lock in. Know your audience. You know, like me, I do some spoken word here and there, and I talk my hip hop, and I do my motivation, and that's enough of being all over the place because you can't really get those three people in one in an audience. So I grab a little bit from all, and you know I can't please everybody. So Kanye, he definitely can't please everybody, and he's definitely a people pleaser. And that's kind of what's fucking him up a little bit. That's just my humble opinion. All right, what else we got? Nicki Minaj's sister Ming Lee responds to the females, to the FemC's alleged disses against her. All right, who's she talking about? Let's see what this article talking about. This according to Hot News Hip Hop. Hot News Hip Hop, they gonna they gonna be like, it's a dude up here just saying all a lot of fucking stories online. It is what it is. I'm still tweaking and putting my own on it. So, this is not the first time Ming Lee has addressed Nicki Minaj shade, but the Young Money superstar hasn't confirmed a rift either. Nicki Minaj often ruffles some feathers with her Station Head live sessions. Station Head, I'm not up on that channel. That must be a live streaming site. So Nicki, she might got some business with them. So even if they are allegedly referring some family drama, back in August of 2024, she allegedly shaded her sister, Ming Lee. So this is her sister. So obviously she talked about her sister a little bit on her live streams, but she probably haven't confirmed it. So fans interpreted this because of the superstar FemC's mention of blood relation. So this is what Nicki Minaj said. Even with blood relation with God has given to me is mine. She remarked, you have to go and get your own. You have to discover whatever it is that you're great at. Being a mooch, being a mooch and a clown don't run in my DNA. So this is what Nicki said. She said, even with blood relation, what God has given to me is mine. Now this is what Nicki said. Then she said, you have to go out and get your own. You have to discover what it is that you're great at. Being a mooch and a clown don't run in my DNA. So fans, you know how fans do. They put two and two together. They think to themselves like, oh, she got to be talking about such and such. So she was talking about her sister. So this is what the fans interpreted. And it sounds like it because she's saying blood relation. So she letting it be known like, don't be no mooch. And let's just talk about that before we even just go deeper into the whole story. But with Nicki Minaj and her sister, it can be hard. It can be hard being the breadwinner of a situation because think about it. What up, Kevin Young? Shout out from Rochester, New York. So let's talk about it. It could be hard being a breadwinner in a family and you got people that maybe rely on you or look at you as the savior of the family. I mean, even if you do got it, even if you do got money, everybody still have problems of their own. And things that they go through and have to pick and choose who they give money to in the family and stuff like that, because you can't just shell out all your money just all day, every day when people ask you for stuff. Because you could be out here fucked up, and then if you give all your money away, who gonna be there to save you and help you? Shit. I mean, we done heard about the Hammer stories. We done seen how Mike Tyson done blew millions in money and stuff like that. And it may get to a point with Nicki Minaj's situation to where it get frustrating. You know, when people just steady calling you and hitting you up for money just because you is the breadwinner or just because you got fame. And that's like when people want to open up businesses and stuff, or people sell you ideas every day, all day. Just take yourself out your own body and think as far as what, a millionaire just walking down the street or someone with fame have to deal with all day, every day. People approach them every day with an idea or asking them for something or asking them for resources. Now you can, give off some phone numbers and things like that. But for Nicki Minaj to have a sister and someone that close to you like that, and when they get to asking and all the time, sooner or later they're gonna just blow up and be like, quit asking me for shit. So let's read more of this. However, we want to make it clear that Nicki never outright names her 19-year-old sister in these rants. And this is all just speculation and gossip based on an interpretation, which the fans do. You already know the fans and the people who watch stuff, they always dissecting it for what they want to dissect it for. So again, Nicki Minaj, she didn't just straight up say her sister Ming Lee name. She just was just letting it be known that even with blood relation, the things God has given me is mine. And some people will call that selfish. Some people will be like, oh, she on bullshit. Like, she got it. She got money. Like, give your sister some of that bread. But shit, this her money. So, okay. It says that this is all speculation. She did name her 19-year-old sister. In fact, the reporter asked Ming about the alleged this is at what seems to be the premiere of Baddies Gone Wild. So her sister is on Baddies Gone Wild, Ming Lee. Now, these are things I'm not into as much as others, so I'm reading this and dissecting this as I go along. I wasn't familiar that her sister Ming Lee was on the show Baddies Gone Wild. So this was her sister was asked about it. They asked her sister about what Nicki said, and she think it was about it. And they say she had a very simple and direct answer, eliminating any notion of bad blood on her end. I love my sister. That's what Ming Lee said of Nicki Minaj. And that's a professional answer. You know, don't let the media and whatever create a whole narrative. Even if Nicki Minaj was talking about her sister and letting it be known, you don't want to be that person on the other end because it could be misinterpreted. She could have been talking about somebody else. And then if you go into the situation and confirming it, and you the one putting it out there, big, I don't want to say being a lesser, but you're not as big as Nicki Minaj. But if you being asked while you at work by the blogs, whatever, like who was that shit about the joke that Nicki Minaj was talking about? Like, was she talking about you? You don't want to just add nothing on to that and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was talking about me, but fuck her, blah, blah, blah. And that's my sister. She should do this, supposed to do that. But again, it's hard. So Nicki Minaj's sister, Ming Lee. How Ming Lee look? Is she fine? Is she strapped up like Nicki? Do I gotta look her up? See, I don't watch them baddies and all them shows. Y'all can't. I'm not into it. I don't do it. I didn't even know her sister was out here doing it like that. But that's for the younger generation anyway. They say she's 19 years old, so maybe my daughter probably know her or something. I don't know. I don't know her. I have to ask my daughter. I can't ask my daughter if she's strapped up and all that, but I could be like, is you familiar with Nicki Minaj's daughter being on the show, that Baddies. I remember that whole Baddies show came here to Detroit for a minute. They was down there fighting and everything. It was going crazy. So I never caught up with the show. I don't watch Baddies and all them shows. I don't fuck around with that stuff, man. But it is what it is for the people that do. What up to everybody in the chat though, and everybody who been coming in, dipping out, coming in and checking me out. You know, I think it's about time I get into a poem and piece real quick. We get to a little bit of motivation. We're about 25 minutes in with some trending topics and trending stories, which is going pretty well, I think. So what we got? Y'all gotta keep moving this. But I like to be centered in my shots, but not centered too much. I'm gonna come up with something though, but I know next Monday when I do my show, I'm gonna make sure I got on some pants or something. So what we got next? Matter of fact, let me give y'all a quick piece. What I got on mine? I got a couple shows coming up too if you're in the metro area. On the poetry side of the game. About to come back outside a little bit more for the summer. So if you in the Detroit area, okay, check me out. It's gonna be some erotic poetry though. I ain't about to do none now. But I got a couple shows coming up though, and I wrote couple things. But let me do this one real quick. Since it's Motivational Monday, we blending in the motivational topics with the trending topics and some spoken word. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's been following through. Y'all can feel free to donate through the super chats or go in the description and CashApp. Definitely be respected. Buy your man a coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. The real CJ, what up, though? Much love, appreciate you. But listen to me though. This one is called Enjoy the Journey. The leaves cut before the trees, don't forget the roots. And everything has its beginning as will be learned as a youth. And the truth is, it ain't no shortcuts, just hard turns. Roadblocks, detours, everything's hard earned. If the model to follow was the same, there'd be no change and there wouldn't be no reason for me to stay in my lane. But I maintain, study my peers, open my ears, listen what's being told, and I face my fears. Gears turned into wrecks for me to reach my highest. I do it for my people, because for my culture, I'm biased. Listen to me. Your seminars and workshops are not worth my time. I rewrite and research and probably start mine. I'm good with my hustle, my struggles, my image. Do what I love until God says I'm finished. I love what I do, so bullshit don't concern me. Winning takes time and effort. So enjoy the journey. You must enjoy the journey. That's that poem and piece. I call that one Enjoy the Journey. And that's one thing you must do. Like no matter what state you in and when I say state, I'm talking about state of mind or you in. Understand the process. Understand the ups and downs of your journey and where it's going to take you and the mishaps and the things that you do to learn. I mean, fall in love with the getting to it. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing of it being just one viewer right now, enjoy that. Treat that person with respect. Definitely hit that like button or subscribe to the channel if you just passing through. Wipe your feet off at the door. That'll definitely be respected and, definitely. Out of all due respect, definitely wipe your feet off at the door if you just passing through. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got these lives If you were turned on by the title to even just pass through here, you can come through all Mondays whenever you want to. And you can tune in and grab a little bit of motivation, grab some trending topics, and some spoken word. Let me get into this one piece I wrote. This is for my hip hop heads. Shout out to all my hip hop heads that be passing through. And I'm talking about the ones who, I ain't talking about the ones that look down on others, or this is for those who understand that not only how things change, but they stay the same. And I was talking to someone one day, and we was talking music. And this poem is a little sarcastic, but it's still just real life, because the more things change, the more they really stay the same if you think about it. So listen to me. This is what I told him. I said, it's not that my hip hop was better than yours, but hey, shit, my hip hop was probably better than yours. Now see, I ain't trying to separate. Cause see, for every crank that soldier boy, there was the Humpty dance. Whipping that nay-nay, hitting the quine to a dude on the corner in some tight-ass Adidas pants and the b-boy stance. But see, we was hip-hop. Let me say that again. But see, we was hip-hop. You see, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, and Queen Latifah all can hold their own. But see, y'all wanted Nicki to stand alone or by another female get knocked off the throne. Bone gave us harmony. Now what a coincidence. Cause see, now that sound like today's R&B. You see, no more love ballads. Just a bunch of rap singing and dudes talking about how high they want to get you and how they want to get the booty. Snoop had us on gin and juice. The Chronic was finally introduced. Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000, but her mama was already popping that coochie for Luke. Hell, it's the truth. You see, it ain't nothing new to discover. All the way down to the fashion. To the artist never asking about these demonic ass symbols and borderline gay ass album covers that the 70s started though. Question. Why Jeffrey Osborne and LTD on them album covers ain't have on no shirts? Isley Brothers, Isaac Hayes, Al Green, all cleaned up like pimps. Go in your mama basement, wipe the dust off them records and do your research. Cause see, the first to make me think or raise my fist was Chuck and Chris. Red, black, and green before we saw delicious ass. Flavor Flav was trying to tell us what time it is. Cause see, we used to rewind shit. See, I was one of them kids in the mirror with the broom. The voice of the streets. Hip hop used to keep us all in tune. See, I'm in love with the culture. But I ain't one of them old heads that's stuck in the past. But lately, y'all been on some bullshit. Mainstream hip hop can kiss my ass. Man, these niggas trash. Only the real gon' last. Raptalk. That's that poem and piece. I call that one Let's Talk Music. Y'all be sure to order y'all some of this merchandise. See, I cut off the sleeves on this one. I'll be wearing this one to the gym, which I'm about to go to the gym in about a couple of hours after my live stream. take care of another little couple of business. You know, I'm gonna get in that gym and work out. You know, but y'all be sure to order one of these shirts. It should be showing right down there up under the video. Let's see what else we got going on. Boosie Badass accuses Casey and her husband Alex Fine of planning Diddy's downfall. Wow, let's see what this about. It's according to Hot News Hip Hop. We gonna read this and break this down. But do y'all think they in on it together? I mean, cause he was working with Diddy. She was working with Diddy. They all was around. Do y'all think they was plotting? It's a lot of plot twists to that whole story, but I don't know where to take it and how to dissect it because. But let's just read this. This from Boosie perspective. Boosie said they was all in on it. Okay, so Casey took the stand in Diddy's trial last week, recalling several instances of abuse that she allegedly experienced. Diddy has faced no shortage of criticism in his ongoing legal battle. True enough. One person who continues to defend him, however, is Boosie Badass. He's been vocal about his opinions on the trial since it began last week and has made it crystal clear which side he's on. As an artist, it got to be hard to not want to ride with it because if they get away with this with Diddy, just imagine what they're going to be able to get away with more artists, especially with that whole little state lines thing and calling it trafficking just because you fly somebody out or take somebody to another city to have relations. You know, this can be real bad if they really break that down like that and really take that to the streets and because they can come down on a lot of rappers after this. So a lot of rappers, it could be a whole trickle down effect of going after this person because I'm pretty sure he's not the only one that did it. And you got a jet, you can fly somebody out and you know y'all do what y'all do. I mean, who's to say how things transpired? I can't fly a chick out I met in life who live in New York and I live in Detroit and want to fly her out and kick it. I can't do that. And we have an agreement on what we do. Okay, so Boosie, earlier today, for example, he hopped on X to share his dark theory about Casey and her husband, Alex Fine. The songstress took the stand for 4 days last week, recounting some disturbing alleged moments from her past, you know, with Diddy. And, you know, we know the story. Well, not the story, but we know the things he accused of. So Boosie, on the other hand, speculates that Casey and Alex allegedly teamed up to take Diddy down for financial reasons. That's a hard one. So here's what Boosie said. He said, he said this on X. He said, I think Cassie and her husband masterminded this takedown of Diddy and his money. He wrote, I think her husband had been trying to get her to do this for years to Diddy, but she didn't want to do it because she knew what would come out. Now that's an angle, because think about it. Now this is a little bit I do know, and y'all can correct me wrong and all that stuff. Chris J say, Boosie isn't lying, bro. Diddy fucked over too many people for this not to happen. Okay, but this is what Boosie say. I mean, which side you agree with, Chris J? Chris J. All right, here's the question to you. So who was Diddy with first? No, who was Casey with first? So Casey was with Diddy, but she cheated on Diddy to be with the assistant, dude Alex Fine, because he worked at Bad Boy, right? So Alex Fine took Casey from Diddy. Am I right so far? So if he got in her ear, if Alex Fine was smooth enough to get in her Okay, so I'm right so far. Okay. Thanks, Chris J, for holding me down. So if Alex Fine took Casey from Diddy, Boosie might be on to something that he was kicking it to her and got in her ear like, I mean, y'all know how people get after they get intimate. They start talking about more personal stuff. And he knowing that she got a pass with Diddy. Now this just player shit or however. And it's been said that he been coming to all the court cases and he right there by her side. She's pregnant right now. Not only is he masterminded Casey, he might be about to take some of her bag. And it's a lot of speculations of this coming out also. I mean, it's been, he's standing by her side right now while she's going through this case. But obviously Casey was dipping back to Diddy still. So, so Casey was fucking both of them. She was doing what she wanted to do. And y'all know how some of these dudes, once they got a female, they got a female. So honestly, Casey, she was being manipulated on both ends, if you really think about it. She was being manipulated by Diddy and his power. He got that money, he got that bread. She know what she up against. She loving the lifestyle. But on the same side, she liking this dude over here, Alex, who's more humble and more working it. Cause once Diddy go run off of his other bitches, Casey gonna confine it to him more than likely. That's how you ease in and get a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say bitch. I don't know who all watch my page, but I'm just saying I don't want to be degrading to nobody. But that's how side dudes ease in and take a woman away because they just be that ear just to be there to listen. And he know Diddy too. He's seeing all the treatment and he's seeing how she getting played, how she getting dogged out, and he's seeing that's his way to just come on through and be like, you know what? Come here. Just come here. I'm about to be that open, listening ear. And then he slide in, start sleeping with her. Things get personal. He know about the money. He know about the other girls. Everybody know Diddy ain't about to just be with just no one woman. He got too much power. He too much he too much on a power trip. He a freaky dude. He like multiple. And that's one thing too. Let's talk about it. I mean, women who deal with a man like that, they know what they dealing with. You dealing with a man who like somebody Mike close out look like Diddy. I don't look like no damn Diddy. He sound like a fool. That's what's up though. What up though, Mike? Shout out to you. You can troll. It's cool. I don't mind the trolls. It actually helps the channel, especially on a small channel like mine that's growing. Somebody look like Diddy. But listen, this is what happens when someone of a stature of a Diddy. Women, they know. Women, they know that, okay, if I'm about to deal with this man, I'm going to deal with him on the terms that he hit me up to fly out to such and such. And that's where the trafficking come in at. When they just going to other cities and getting these different women and having these freak offs or whatever. Mike say, talk about the first day you went bold. You mean bald? You can't even spell right. I talk about the first day I went bald. First, my shit was thinning. That's what happened. First, your head thin. Once it thin up top like that, I cut mine off. See, that's how much self-confidence I got. I cut mine off. I ain't gonna run around like LeBron and just. I'm pretty sure LeBron gonna probably cut his off after he retired. I bet you LeBron go bald right after he retired. So why I wear a hat? I wear a hat to represent Detroit. I'm wearing a hat to represent the D. Mike, shout out to you, but we can answer the question. We can have fun. But I ain't gonna let you stir off the show too much. But I'll answer your question. This is all in self-confidence. I wear a hat because I want to represent Detroit, even though it's showing backwards on your end. Because I'm representing, you say your baby mother from Detroit. That's what's up. Okay, but no, I wear the bald hat. I mean, you can look at my channel. I show my bald head on my videos. I ain't tripping. You know, you say yo Diddy is innocent. Innocent of what? I mean, that's a good question. He could be innocent, but we going through the whole character things. But it's all about what actually is. I can't say which. I ain't gonna show what you just said, but I see they paid to get treated a certain way. We ain't gonna show that comment, but I get what you saying though. I get what you said though, Mike. They paid for it. They paid for it, but it's hard because, like I say again, in a situation like this, they know what they up against and what they could be facing dealing with somebody like Diddy. You're gonna go on them excursions. You're gonna go on them binges. You're gonna know today your day or today not your day. You're gonna know he might go a whole week without talking to you. We even had some of that done, on the lower scale, Why you think women be tripping on us sometimes? They be like, you ain't called me in 3 days and all that. Like you fucking with somebody else or why I ain't heard from you and all that and want good morning texts and all that stuff and over and over. So just imagine a busy person, a busy man. Let's just face it, man. A true alpha is in demand. A man who bought their business, you in demand, you can have your way. Especially if you ain't out here on no sucker shit. And look at the eyes of just women to men right now. It's too many women out here to just be with one. I mean, you could choose one. If you lucky enough to come across that unicorn or you come across that one, that's just the one for you. More power to you, more blessings to you. I respect it, and it's a beautiful thing. And if you got you a real union to where you ain't gotta, you know, run around and have multiple women and you want to just be with one, it's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But in all essence though, if you got power and some money and you handling business and you get to yours, you gonna enjoy the fruits. And it's even on a lower scale. If you just a straight male and you about your business right now, you can really get the pick of the litter, dog. I'm telling you. If you about your business and you smooth and got some game about yourself, and if you moving around and you clean yourself up, you well groomed, you like I said, you can be you work at your own place, got your transportation, you got income, you got a bank account, you got a couple dollars, dress good, smell good, you know, and you got some confidence, you can get the pick of the litter right now because it's too many dudes out here who's lazy, abusive. Fred Sanford, they GAY. There's a lot of that going on. So you can really get, like I say, but that's all on you if you want to put yourself out there and be that type of person who chasing, looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. You know, if you want to be one of those type of people, you're going to miss out on some things because you ain't working on your goals. You ain't working on the other thing. It's kind of like what they say, you'll never lose women chasing money, but you'll lose money chasing women. Let me say that again. That's a powerful saying. You will never lose women chasing money, but you will lose money chasing women. I mean, women is a bill. Shit, that's unless you come across somebody who really clicking with you and y'all can really work together and y'all are building and she ain't no hound and she ain't on no nonsense and she ain't just all about let's spend his money, let's spend your money, I'm gonna keep my money, but if y'all doing things together, you ain't gonna go broke. My advice is just to be on your shit, handle your business, be on your purpose. That's the key. I mean, because that's sexy to a woman anyway. That turns women on, seeing a man that's handling their business and doing what they love to do and not even paying them no mind and no attention. That's a plus right there, shit. You can get action just by not even, you know, giving them all the attention they want to handle their business though. But yeah, I'm on to y'all though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in though this Monday. Be sure to like the video, share the video, all of that. Rap Talk Live, I appreciate y'all. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate y'all. Be sure to order one of the shirts, Intelligence to Sexy. I think you will look good in one of these walking around in the summer. Like I told you, I cut mine on this one because I'm about to go to the gym and work out. Get a couple things in. Stay motivated, y'all. Rap Talk.